And these stories are based on real people who have actually been in Frank's life. They're his relatives. And there are so many wonderful, rich nuances and tones and rhythms and colors. And when I read the script, I started to get ideas about how to stage this piece, how to direct this piece, how to bring these nuances and tones and rhythms and bring these four men to life. And we did.
This piece came about as a request from a wonderful actor by the name of Robert Silveris. And he said, you know, Frank, I'd like a one-man show. Could you write me something? And I said, you know, I've been toying around with the idea of writing a multifaceted piece on 4 or 5 men, namely my great-grandfather, my grandfather, my father, and myself and my brother. And he said, well, that sounds great. And when I began to write it, it took over.
Imagine and create. Now, doesn't that sound nice? Best computer ever made right here between your ears. And if you all don't hurry up and get offline and back into the real world, you'll be sorry, because it's going to die if you don't start taking care of it.
I thought it was a great story. I thought it was brilliantly directed. I think the director got a lot of amazing work out of the actors. I think the cast was incredible and talented without an exception, and it just gelled.
We had a great time. I read the script back in the spring of 2016, and Franklin and I decided to work together. When I read the script, I loved the script very, very much, and I felt that it had just wonderful, wonderful moments and a richness about it, and I was very excited. And I went through a lot of actors to find the right actors for these roles, and we did.
I'm the one with the right to work and pay all the bills, so I have all rights and you have the rights I give you. The right to cash the checks I send, the right to be faithful to me, the right to do what I say. Your failure to live within the right grants me the right to take away all your damn rights.
Throughout my journey, my artistic journey in New York, I've met some characters that I call them characters because they're so talented in what they, when they're acting, they become, literally become. And Judd Jones was one of them. This piece, the first piece, Jacob's Tale, was dedicated to Judd Jones and his performance of In White America by Martin B. Dubin. If you ever get a chance to look at the piece or the pieces that he writes as he looks at these landscapes, so to speak, that he creates of the racially divided America, it helps you to understand why it's important for us to continue to do work like this, so we can look at ourselves and see ourselves and realize that things can be bad and have been difficult for many, but they rise above it and we can be better. We can do better. We certainly are better. We have to make the choice to be that and do that.
They ain't break me. No, sir. They ain't break me. That very next Saturday night, I gets dewed up. And my daddy said, where is you going? And I said to him, me don't know how to be. Daddy said, Mr. say every time he hears you been with that girl, he gonna whoop you. And I said, I promised myself that I was gonna stay happy, even if it kills me.
He is a man who's very much about his family and about, you know, just finding and keeping that happiness that gives you purpose for living.
You best turn that round. You got more fields to plow. You best get them done. Get them done now.
The through line, the being humble and how they had to go through these experiences to learn about life and to learn, like most people, you go through things, you make mistakes and you justify the mistakes, but in his play, they all had to come back home, which home for them meant the church, meant coming back to their God self, or, you know, even God, the universe, God, the universal God. They had to come back to that. And I thought that was just so inspirational.
When you think it can't go no further south, that's when the bottom completely
all of the acting, all of these men were wonderful actors, and I was so amazed that they all have such great singing voices.
My grandfather was a huge force in my life. His name is Benjamin. He taught me everything I know about worship, about prayer, how prayer changes things.
God can do it, he must shut up. God can do it, God can change your life, he must shut up. Oh, thank you, Jesus.
I remember one time I was very ill. I was in Kansas City, and I woke up early in the morning, and my granddaddy was sitting at my bed praying. Excuse me. And I asked my grandmother, how long was granddaddy praying? Because when I woke up, he was still praying for me. And my grandmother said, he prayed all night. He prayed all night for your life.
Come on. This man had 7 Oh, I must roll 7.
My character pretty much goes on a journey from sinner to saint. And in that process, he evolves.
And as I was polishing off my dinner, she put her arms around me, and she said, Mr. Honey, when are you gonna stop all this drinking and foolishness? It is he that is in me, that he that is in the world.
The transition of the older generations to the younger generations and how the message gets passed on about hope and, realizing how your habits really shape your being and how your behaviors can take you to the wrong road and how you can even with that find peace and come back to the right path. I think all the actors did a great job. Their singing, the acting. It was just such an amazing and touching show.
The third piece, which is Ronald, is my dad and my mom's. And my mom gave me permission to use this story. My mom her name is Sheng, because she has these Chinese-looking eyes. She's Black Indian. And she said, yeah, baby, you can use my story because it's the truth. It's the truth, and it might help somebody. She is a strong woman.
She was screaming and crying, and so were they. I started beating her right in front of them. And to my surprise, for the first time, she started fighting back. Started throwing your apple tree and your apple meat on the apple tree. I said, apple tree. Time was well spent, and I met the wonderful soul of a woman named Lavinia.
We worked on this for about 2 months. So I was the last one to get the script and work on it. So they had done some recoupments and they found me, and I'm fortunate to be here and to actually perform this play. And life lesson, live honestly and to respect yourself and respect people and let kindness affect everything that you do. And let that be the through line in your life, because I believe through that is where love sort of radiates. And that was a lesson for him in the end when it was almost too late.
To see it without a set right now and without costumes, it left so much to your imagination. And we were transferred there. We were there at the farm. We were there in St. Louis or wherever. We were there without all of that. And that means the actors were absolutely knew how to take us there.
I actually wrote it in about a month. It was finished, but I worked on it for the next year. This was written, I thought it's probably October of last year. October, yeah. And I continually worked on it for the next 7 or 8 months, but it was finished. I write very quickly, because when something's in my head, I have to get it out. And I don't have a memory like that, so I have to get it out immediately, because I won't retain it in that way. Not in its fullness and its richness, and that's how I If it is full and rich, I hope it is.
It's relative towards where we're at right now as a new generation, especially of males, for sure.
So my mom, she says to me, well, Romeo, have you ever thought of calling this girl up on the telephone and asking her out on an actual date? And I was like, well, no, I actually never thought of that.
My character, Ronald Theodore, he was a lot of fun. He's very contemporary. You know, he's a computer tech, you know, a geek, had lots of money. So I just had a lot of fun with the character.
And then my mother springs in with an open air assault. Oh yeah, well maybe he couldn't read or write, but he was very smart. He took everything that was available to him and used it to his advantage. He knew the love of one amazing woman, and he made it his business to make her and all his children safe and happy the rest of his life. And I was like, I get it. Big Jake made it possible for me to be here.
I liked it. It's very good. It's very well written, very well directed, and the actors were phenomenal. And it was just wonderful seeing 4 guys kick butt.
What I'm hoping that people will take from it is family, the meaning of family, because family really is all you have at the end of the day, good, bad, or indifferent. And family is really where we learn who we are. We learn our best lessons there.
Being an African American male, I can identify with a lot of things that they were talking about. I thought the singing was great. The points that they made was great. The last 2 were just phenomenal because I identified more with them. Even with what's going on with the world today, how he was saying that his daughter was killed and how she was just horribly killed, and he stabbed her, he raped her, and then he just threw her body away. And that's what's really going on in today's society, so you can really identify with things that's going on with the play today. And then the last one with all the computer technology, our kids are so lost today because everything is computer, and they're lacking social skills because they're so engrossed into the computers.
I hope the piece helps someone to dream, imagine, create. That's the difference.
Humble is the way. It's not really what you have on the outside or what you think you have. It's what you are and who you are on the inside. Remaining humble, remaining gracious, remaining kind to yourself and to others.
This is a gift to my mom, and I hope that it remains that way, that it's something that she's proud to be a part of and knows that it's all about helping others. It's all about service. There is nothing else. There is nothing else. That's all that there is. The goodness of love. That's all there is. That's all there ever was.